Welcome to this session about digital transformation and customer success and how they actually go hand in hand if done correctly. You have heard in earlier sessions, such as Rondi's and Matt's keynote, about customer examples from different parties. We're also going to focus in this particular session about an innovator in an industry and go a little deeper. But our whole mission, that hopefully you took away from the keynote, is that we are partnering up to really helping our customers through this crisis and coming out at the other end, a much, much stronger partnership as well. In this context, we looked at several business challenges, and they are similar type of challenges. It ranges from scenario planning, it ranges to remotely closing the books, for example, responding to crisis. But our promise stands that our investment is really to ensure consistent innovation, that hopefully we can be the partnership in the cloud that you're looking for as you're pivoting forward. One of the themes that I really want to emphasize here is that decisive action and digital acceleration is at the forefront of just about any conversation we're having right now. Because literally, we're at the cusp of shaping the next decade of growth. And that is not to be underestimated. So the right partnership counts. So customers who did decisive moves, either being from a business model adjustment early on to go to recurring revenue models, operating in subscription type of models, being from an infrastructure ready to do remote talent acquisition, remote access to systems, for example, remote workforce management, have been faring significantly better. So it's oftentimes the embrace of technology early on that is the decisive factor. Are you going to come out of that stronger or have potentially a harder time recouping here? A lot of the conversations we're having with customers is really that oftentimes for the first time now, they had to close their books remotely. It was fascinating to observe that. It's also for us as Oracle, we did the same thing. And even in this time of change, actually, what we did see is that we were able to shave off 20% of our own closing cycle in a remote type of workforce setup. But it's really about the agility, the ability to plan and forecast quickly, gaining insights into customer behavior, and really evolve business models very rapidly in response to change. And we did in the summer, in response to that, a partnership with the AICPA, the Association of International CPAs, and McKinsey to really, as a thought leadership, give guidance to the market on how we feel this entire thing will unfold. Of course, there's no crystal ball, but we were trying to see, look, what is the best predictions we can come up with jointly, and how can we extend this guidance to our customer community? And how can they hear from other customers as well? McKinsey, for example, has a framework which is along the 5 R's. And they are going around resolving the current crisis. It's about creating financial and operational resiliency. It is about to really overcome those challenges, but then also making very much sure that you can return your business to scale at the right point in time and reimagining your business for whatever the future might look like. We're very positive that it's not just going to snap back to the old type of things. There is going to be an alteration in there. And you want to be prepared for that by reimagining your business and then reforming the business to deal with industry and regulatory changes that potentially come with it. So we're convinced that there's going to be a little bit of a change. But there were 2 R's that actually came up in addition to the 5 R's that McKinsey had. One was regret. Regret potentially that I wasn't decisive enough in the past, and I wish I would have been leaning more into cloud and into technology. Or relief if I had done so, because they were better prepared oftentimes. So Oracle Cloud ERP was a very integral part, we feel, how corporations steered to the crisis and continue to steer to the crisis. Because those corporations have been able to really change their business model, assess them, fine-tune them. They have been able to really close the books remotely, manage workforce very holistically. So we want to hear from a couple of those customers. And let me roll a quick video of some of our customers who have given us the permission to use some of those statements on how they navigated and used Oracle Cloud ERP throughout the crisis. Enjoy.
At Western Digital, we're on a multi-year ERP transformation journey. And no, we didn't have pandemic in the project plan, but it's been incredible to see how a cloud-based platform has enabled us to manage through this type of an incident.
We were already on the cloud for both the ERP and the HCM modules before this happened. And I don't know that we could have gone to a seamless virtual close within a week or so of everyone moving to being completely at home if we had not already been in that mode.
So in February, we went live on Cloud ERP in 4 of our manufacturing sites in Southeast Asia. And if that wasn't enough, we went live with another 4 manufacturing sites later in March. So an ERP go live at 8 manufacturing sites in a 30-day period, all during COVID-19 travel and other restrictions. Yes, so pretty incredible resiliency and flexibility.
We are using the cloud and our implementation of the cloud to get more information. We're developing tools to monitor our networks and our performance. Far more advanced than simple dashboarding. The Oak Analytic tool allows us to drill into the operations on an almost real-time basis and see what's going on and see how things are developing worldwide, because we're constantly having to adjust our networks, redistribute our lift capacity based on the current demands of the moment.
We have taken a third of the time out of our close cycle and are looking to do more. The other thing that's been really valuable to us being in the cloud has been the fact that it creates one source of truth, particularly for all the scenario planning that we've been doing.
We use this journey to unify our disparate platforms from the previous acquisitions into what we call an always-on data warehouse. And this provides near real-time data access. Kind of that unified cloud platform has allowed us to eliminate duplicate processes, improve financial and operational visibility, and create that platform for future growth.
The power of the cloud is in its seamless integration to all parts of the cloud, all the different units and pieces of software, the common data formats that you get from using a common product such as Oracle, and most importantly, the AI and analytics. The last couple of years has seen a dramatic change in that front, and I think there's only more to come, and especially with AI and the way Oracle is endeavoring to build AI into the tool itself, so that it's not something you do separately, but something that's watching you, the employee, work and giving advice to the employee and answering questions. That promise is extremely significant. So we're excited.
In this video, you saw some of our customers really stating why they feel it's super important and be hyper-focused on the touchless financial transaction to give their CEOs, for example, the real-time results for instant decision-making. So when you hear from corporations, global corporations such as FedEx, Western Digital, Blue Shield of California, on how they actually value the innovation capacity that a cloud ERP system can bring to them, this is really important for them in this really unpredictable time. Scenario modeling is one of those examples that comes up in just about any business conversation I have right now. You needed to have a plan A, you need to have a plan B, but a lot of corporations didn't plan for the OMG type of scenario. So it's really important that you have this flexible ability to pivot on a dime. And with that comes a focus on game-changing technology. And for us, that's not just giving you a platform feature, this is really embedding it natively into the business functions, that we can live up to this promise of relentless automation and liberation from the mundane, so that you can be a true steward of the business. Now, one of those corporations that I admire from the depth of my heart, I'm privileged today to share the stage with, Stitch Fix. And Stitch Fix for me is representative of a lot of things. A, they're a game changer in how you have to think about fashion, how you think about your wardrobe, how you engage into really trying out new stuff. I mean, the first time I heard about Stitch Fix, I said, really? That is so cool. So I'm glad that Kumud is actually with me today. And Kumud is the Director of Enterprise Applications and Insights at Stitch Fix. First of all, congratulations. You seem to have a knack for really joining game-changing corporations in your career. But maybe if you could highlight a little bit as to what is Stitch Fix for those potentially who do not know Stitch Fix just yet. What are your aspirations and what is your role in the corporation? That would be fantastic.
My name is Kumud Kokal. I lead the Enterprise Applications and Insights team here at Stitch Fix. That in English means that my team and I are responsible for all things financial applications. So finance is a key stakeholder and a very strong partner for us in the work that we do at Stitch Fix. A little bit about the company itself. Thank you for the kind words. But we are, Stitch Fix has over 3.5 million active clients and more than 5,000 stylists, employee stylists, who actually help marry the concept of data science, our algorithms, and the human connection to data science by not only handpicking a new selection of clothes, which we call a fix itself, for users throughout the US and UK, but they also take care of all the client needs from that perspective. Just to talk a little bit about our Oracle journey, our Oracle footprint today consists of Cloud Financials ERP, procurement, Oracle Supply Chain, Fusion Analytics. We as a company have been born out of the cloud, and we are 100% on the cloud. So needless to say that all the applications that support our finance ecosystem are also 100% based in the cloud. We talked a little bit about the fact that we at Stitch Fix are early adopters of the ERP Fusion Cloud. We signed on to ERP Fusion way back in 2016. Before that, we were on QuickBooks, and the analogy I like to use is that we went from riding a bicycle to driving a Tesla. And we've had nothing but good things to say about the technology that we've been using. We are very ambitious. We want to grow from what is currently a $2 billion company today to possibly a $10 billion company, a $20 billion company, a $100 billion company. And we're investing in partners like Oracle who can help us scale and grow.
I applaud you, A, for being a business disruptor from a business model perspective, and B, obviously, for trusting the growth of your corporation in a partnership with Oracle. If you talk about those technologies and data science, right, there's a couple of business processes where we feel very strongly that the automation will really make a difference, right, that you can focus on what you do best, right, serving your customers and not hampered down by mundanity of certain type of business processes that hopefully we can automate for that. So how are touchless transactions being looked at Stitch Fix, and how important is it to really support your growth targets? Because you mentioned from 2 billion to 10 billion, and then you didn't shy away of doing a 10x multiplier, which I like. How important is technology for that?
Technology is a huge part of the investment that we are making in our infrastructure. I'm a huge believer in automation, not only to increase the confidence in the data that we use, both for management reporting as well as for external reporting, but also in this notion of touchless transactions. Anytime we are a public company, and anytime there is a need for us to touch data in any shape or form, that raises concerns from a SOX perspective as well. So not only for governance and compliance, but also for ensuring that we can scale and grow. Automation is a huge part of the thought process that we have. The ability for us to get the information from a single source of information has also given us the insights we need to help management make real-time, insightful financial decisions. And that has shown up multiple times in the history of the company. You talked about security and privacy. Security is the core of the work that we do. We are absolutely obsessive about keeping our customers' data safe and secure within our environment. And so that notion, that DNA of security applies to our partners as well, our infrastructure, our internal systems as well. So the more we can automate our processes and put those controls in place, the better it is. That is another reason why we chose Oracle as a partner in helping us in our ERP journey. And just to give you an idea of the amount of volume of data that we are processing today is anywhere between 10 to 12 million transactions on a weekly basis. And that volume we know is going to grow. So for any one person or team to be manually processing these is just a nightmarish task.
Kamut, this was a great answer. Stitch Fix and Oracle, we have something in common, which is really passion for data science. And I understand you have over 100 data scientists working today on really optimizing the algorithms that make Stitch Fix, the utmost critical personalization type of layer, which is pretty amazing to see that in action, actually. Now, how has Oracle ERP Cloud, the procurement cloud, together with analytics, really helped in connecting the data points between finance, supply chain, and your massive set of customer data as well to help you achieve better business outcomes? And what type of metrics do you potentially use? I mean, obviously within the confinement of not going too far, are you using to steer your business and grow profitability?
Yeah, so metrics, KPIs, data analytics, algorithms are the core to and DNA to our existence at Stitch Fix. What we've done is today we've got more than 250 metrics that we look at across finance and merchandising. So these are not just finance only metrics, these are also merchandising, buying metrics as well. They're shared metrics that allow us to look at how's our business doing, but more importantly, where we can grow. Some of the examples of this is around the lines of businesses that we offer today in women's, men's, kids, fulfillment model, whether we have owned inventory, and then we look at creating a solution where we have infinite inventory, and then geographical expansion. So these 250 plus metrics, some shared, there are also KPIs around clients, around inventory, around revenue, supply chain. These become the heart of how we provide our data to not only our finance stakeholders and our partners, but also to our merchandising teams. We also get some data-driven insights by the use of Oracle products like Essbase and data visualization capabilities in Oracle Analytics Cloud that we use not only for running operational reports, but also these 250 plus metrics that I was talking about. We've also had a strong partnership with Oracle on what used to be called OAX and is now Financial Analytics Warehouse, where we were in design partnership programs with you on analyzing how we could use and scale these applications. And the benefits of doing that have come from our connection to the ERP Fusion by unlocking new insights throughout the business.
I would love to check a little bit with you, since we've been talking about what you've been investing into already. I mentioned that a lot of our customers are doubling down, and I thought you guys are also right now really looking at, so what's the next thing I really want to go decisively after? Analytics, obviously, I heard supply chain type of pieces. So what is it drives you forward? And what are you expecting here as a partnership as well?
We've been looking at what other fulfillment models could we do as part of the offerings that we have for our clients. And so there's a lot of innovation that is going on behind the scenes. Some I can talk about publicly, some I can't. But mostly, we've also invested in the infrastructure itself to that end, and I've mentioned supply chain. Supply chain is one of those initiatives that it's almost a 9-month to a year-long initiative that we are leading within the company, because when we started the company, and as any startup would do this, we built our own tools and our systems, and they've gotten us to where we are today. But what we are looking in this partnership, especially with Oracle, is the fact that when we do become a $10 billion, $100 billion company, for the path to that is not our own building our own systems, but to leveraging a world-class ERP to help us get there. And supply chain is part of that. We want to increase the efficiencies in our three-way match process. We want to be able to electronically talk to our vendors. We want to be able to ingest data from multiple data sources for different kinds of fulfillment models.
Final question that I would love to extend. I mean, this is really for our other customers as well, who are potentially still on the cusp of making an inroad into cloud because maybe they have started somewhat differently with on-premise. What are potentially points that you would say, this is something you should definitely consider? What would be advice that you could give? What was your experience so far?
Yeah, having done this journey a couple of times now of the movement to the cloud, there are three things I would call out. One is don't wait. Start right now, even if it's a small thing that you can, if you want to take something that you have on premise or you're holding very near and dear to heart, don't be afraid of moving to the cloud. The world is better out there. It's much more innovative. There are companies like Oracle who will help you get there. The second piece of advice I would have is, work with your business partners. Identify your key stakeholders within the company. Find your change champions. Find people who will support you in this journey. Build those strong partnerships with them and help solve a business problem, leveraging the technology that are out there. And the last thing I would say is, do not be afraid to fail. Just think big, go big, because when you do, amazing things will happen. And when you put these goals, audacious goals out there of moving to the cloud, sustaining the cloud, and in our case, now enhancing in the cloud itself, it's just amazing what these teams can bring together and make happen.
Kumud, thank you. I mean, it was a fantastic tagline, actually. The world is better out there. I love that. So those were tremendous insights. I cannot thank you enough in the name of Oracle and being such a trusting customer and really doing a joint journey with us here and being one of those really early adopters that obviously sees the benefit of this joint partnership. So in closure for everyone out here, let me stress once again what we just heard. It's really about the importance of being decisive and invested into your corporate future with the right partnership, focused on real sustainable business advantage and continuous innovation built into the partnership. And cloud is fundamental to that. So if we're talking about relentless automation, if we're talking about data, using data differently to really change the way how you serve customers, how you operate your supply chains, how you automate finance functions, to really focus on new business innovation, we'd love to be this partner. We're here to help. And once again, Kumud, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I hope it doesn't put your 10 billion timeline back by one day. So we are here to help. I look forward to doing that jointly. And I love the bullishness on doing a 10x type of multiplier at the end as well. So looking forward to the joint partnership, Kumud. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.